Hello and welcome to my channel. In this topic today we are going to discuss about performance appraisal, being our first topic in theories of human resource management. So we are going to look at what is performance appraisal. Welcome on board. And in performance appraisal is a formal evaluation of the individual with respect to his or her performance on the job and the potential development. All right, we evaluate the individual who's working in our company to see how they are performing their job and the potential development. So it consists of all formal procedures used in working organizations to evaluate, remember, the personality, contributions, and potentials. So performance appraisal, you look at the personality of the person, contribution that they have to the organizations, and their potential to grow or the potential that they have in the organization. It is a line of responsibility or a continuous process to determine how effectively subordinates perform their tasks in their positions. So we are looking at performance appraisal, like how are these people, how are they effective in their jobs? How are they performing their tasks? How are they positioning themselves while they are at work? So that is what we call performance appraisal. We identify and correct their weak points to recommend them on the basis of their potential for promotion or higher positions in the organization. What this means is you look at how they are doing their job, you recommend them based on their weak points or their strong points and tell them that this is where you need to work at, or this is what you're supposed to do. So we identify and correct their weak points to recommend them on the basis of their potential for promotion or higher positions in the organization. Purpose of performance appraisal. So we are going to look at what is the purpose of performance appraisal, as I said. So number one is the appraisal procedure provides a common and unified measure of performance appraisal so that all employees are evaluated in the same manner. All right, that is the purpose. So you look at what is the purpose of the appraisal. It is the procedure, it provides a common and unified measure of performance appraisal so that all employees are evaluated in the same manner. Number two, performance appraisal is useful for decision making, all right? Decision making process of the organization. For example, in training, promotion, selection, pay increment or transfers. The performance appraisal that has been done will be able to let you know if you need to promote this person, if you need to increase their payment or to transfer them to another position which they are better off doing, all right? The third one is performance appraisal gives complete information of records regarding every employee. So once you have done the appraisal, you already have their personality traits, you already know how they work in regards to work. You are able to keep the record. You have the complete record of what it is that they do. Performance appraisal guides employees in removing their weaknesses and it provides a basis for training and development. So let's say you are weak at some point, whatever you're working for is you have a weakness. The performance appraisal will guide you on what you're supposed to improve at. So that's what we're calling it. Guides the employees in removing their weaknesses and it provides a basis for training and development. So once you realize the weakness that you have, you're going to be able to work on it to improve yourself so that you are able to develop on your job assignment. It also helps the supervisors to make a careful analysis of the employees' performance and make them more productive and useful. So here's the deal. So once the appraisal has been done, once they are analyzed, okay, the supervisor will analyze based on the appraisal that they did, and they'll be able to help you perform better. All right, and you're going to be more productive and useful for the company. Let's move on ahead. Specific uses of performance appraisal. What are the uses of performance appraisal? So number one, it helps in deciding promotion. As I said, a well-organized, developed, and administered performance appraisal program may help management in determining whether an individual should be considered for promotion. So once they have made a decision, they'll be able to say, okay, we are going to promote this person, or we are going to demote the person based on their performance appraisal. So that's one use of the performance appraisal. It helps in deciding promotion. The second one, it helps in wage and salary administration. What does this mean? The wage increase given to some employees may be justified by the performance appraisal results. So they look at your appraisal, like how do you work at work? Do they need to increase your salary? If your appraisal that they did on you matches with the salary that they want to increase, they'll be able to increase your salary. But if your work performance is not good, they'll be able to determine if they are going to increase your wages or the salary. It helps in training and development. All right. So once they have an appropriate system of performance appraisal helps the management to identify areas of skills and knowledge in which the employee are not at par with the job requirements. So once they have done the appraisal, they have looked at the weaknesses, the strong points, they will be able to offer training and development based on the appraisal that they did. So let's say they found a weakness. You have a weakness at some point. They are going to help you. They are going to train you so that you become better at what you do. Aid to personnel research. Performance appraisal helps in conducting research in the field of personnel management by studying the various problems which are faced by the performance appraiser. New areas of research may be developed in the personnel field. So once they have done the appraisal, they'll be able to do some research based on what they found, and they'll be able to develop new areas and in the personnel field. Number 5, it helps in self-evaluation. Performance helps the employee who is anxious to know his or her performance and his or her potential for higher jobs so as to bring himself to the level of that position. It's just like number 2. So number 3. So once they realize, once they have done an appraisal on you and they have told you, hey, this is where you're doing either wrong or you're doing right, so you're going to be able to evaluate yourself. You look at yourself and be like, okay, what is it that I can do? Is there something that I need to do much better than what I did so that I can be able to get to that position that I want, either managerial position or supervision position? So you are able to evaluate yourself and put yourself in a much better position. Number 6, it helps in other personnel action like layoffs, demotions, transfers, and discharges. So once the appraisal has been done, they'll be able to determine if they want to lay off some people, demotions, if they want to put people, if they want to reduce the ranks, or they want to transfer you to another different location, or they'll discharge you. So the performance appraisal that they did will be able to help them determine if they are going to keep you or they are going to let you go. Let's move on ahead.